Smaran.
Yes, ma'am.
Bachu Smaran Ras.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by this Bachu?
It's my surname.
Bachu is your surname.
Yes, ma'am.
Does it carry any meaning?
Ma'am, actually, it was a village near the Nellore district, ma'am.
Okay. So earlier it was a village name.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by Smaran?
Ma'am, Smaran means remembrance or to chant, ma'am.
Okay. Do you chant anything?
Ma'am, I do chant Mrityunjaya mantram.
Yes. Chant it.
Om Trayambakam Yajamahe.
So your native place is Siddipet.
I currently reside in Hyderabad, ma'am. I was
Okay.
born in Siddipet.
Siddipet is a separate district now.
Yes, ma'am.
How many mandals are there in the district?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I'll just go and read it.
Okay. Because Siddipet is a very small district. Earlier it was
Yeah.
a part of?
It was a part of Medak district, ma'am.
Okay. Now it has become a separate district.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think there are 24 mandals in Siddipet. So, your state is Telangana.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the significance of Ugadi festival for Telugu states.
Ma'am, Ugadi essentially means that the beginning of Yuga, which is celebrated as a new year.
What are the various New Year festivals across India in various states?
Yes, ma'am.
Name some.
For Maharashtra, it is Guru Padwa, which falls in the same lines of Telugu New Year also, ma'am.
Okay.
Tamil New Year is celebrated on April 13th or 14th for every year, ma'am. And I'm not exactly sure about the other New Years.
Okay. You should check out because you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
part of federal system.
Yes.
You are not just a Telugu person.
Yes, ma'am. I'll
That's
go
very
and.
important. So, Telangana. What are the flagship programs of Telangana government launched by CM KCR?
Yes, ma'am. In the recent time, the scheme which was launched by the government is Dalita Bandhu.
Apart from Dalita Bandhu, any other schemes?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody is talking about Dalita Bandhu.
Yes.
Apart from Dalita Bandhu, any other schemes?
Yes, ma'am. The developmental schemes which were launched by the government, which have gained much popularity, are Mission Kakatiya,
Okay.
Mission Bhagiratha, and KCR kits to aid the pregnant women, and Arogya Lakshmi, which is also to help the pregnant and lactating women and the newborn children, ma'am.
Okay. Any other scheme?
Ma'am.
Can you speak about Raitu Bandhu?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm expecting Raitu Bandhu from you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The scheme Raitu Bandhu was launched by the government of Telangana in the year 2017. Basically, its aim is to aid the farmers in order to aid the farmers in producing the crop so that they get encouragement and go for cropping. The monetary assistance given in the scheme is rupees 5,000 per acre for farmer.
Telangana is not a coastal state.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't have a coastline.
Yes, ma'am.
So it has to depend on either Madras or Andhra.
Yes.
For its shipping and other facilities. Tell me, to what extent Telangana is developed after 2014?
Yes, ma'am. Post bifurcation, ma'am, the major contributors for the growth of Telangana's GSDP are the service exports, ma'am, and the service exports, basically the IT exports and the advancement of the pharmaceutical industry, ma'am. And the being a landlocked state has been a disadvantage for Telangana, ma'am, in terms of access to the coast, ma'am.
Okay. What is the share of Hyderabad revenue in entire Telangana's revenue?
Yes, ma'am. The share of Hyderabad's revenue is more than 70% for Telangana's revenue.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sure.
It is more than 70% of entire Telangana's revenue. What is Telangana's revenue per annum?
Revenue, ma'am. It is 1.7 lakh crores, ma'am.
Telangana's revenue per annum.
Yes, ma'am. So,
Is it approximate figure or exact figure? Where you are at that?
I don't think it is an exact figure, ma'am. I am sure that it is an approximate estimate.
Right. Okay. Your father is a lawyer by profession.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what are the problems faced by advocates in India today? Problems faced by advocates in India today.
Problems. Give me a few moments, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Regarding the problems, ma'am, advocates, though there are a sufficient number of advocates, ma'am, actually the major problems comes when it comes to the service which they are delivering.
See, I asked this question in the context. Last year, there was a brutal assault and assassination of an advocate in Telangana, in the daylight, in the highway. Do you know that?
Yes, ma'am. How do
In this context, I'm asking, what are the challenges faced by the advocates in India today, particularly in Telangana?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm not able to recollect.
Seriously?
Yes, ma'am.
So you stay in Hyderabad.
Yes, ma'am.
Hyderabad is famous for
Ma'am, should I tell regarding the tourist place?
Anything. What do you like in Hyderabad?
Ma'am, among the places which I visited, the Golconda Fort and Salajang Museum, and also the most recently inaugurated Statue of Equality in February.
Okay. Hyderabad is also famous for pearls.
Pearls.
Okay. I have a doubt, Smaran. Hyderabad is not a coastal city. In fact, Telangana don't have a coastline. Pearls are available near the seashore. How come Hyderabad have become a pearl city? Means pearls are very famous in Hyderabad.
Please give me a moment. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm unable to recall the reason for that.
Do you know that we have our city is famous for pearls? Whoever comes to Hyderabad, they'll go to Charminar and search for good pearls. They'll purchase and go.
Ma'am, yes,
Generally,
ma'am.
famous people from all over the world, whenever they visit Hyderabad, they'll go for pearls.
Yes, ma'am. I have heard of it about it, ma'am. I'm not aware about the reason.
Original pearls, where they are available? Where we get the original pearls?
Usually at the sea coast.
We don't have a seashore.
Yes, ma'am.
How come? We are famous for pearls.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Next. Yeah. So we were in Hyderabad. Have you eaten any time Hyderabad halim?
No, ma'am.
Hyderabad biryani?
Hyderabadi biryani, I've had it once.
Halim you have?
No.
Why?
Ma'am, I personally do not prefer eating.
But does the Hyderabad halim, the halim in Hyderabad, added GA tag?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I do not know about it.
Okay. So, how come the name Hyderabad? How come?
Ma'am, the name Hyderabad was arrived after the person called Hyder Ali. So Abadi means population in Hindi. So the population who were residing in and around his residence. So hence the name Hyderabad has come.
Okay, what is Nizam Sagar?
Sagar is kind of water.
Where it is located? Nizam Sagar.
I am unable to recollect it. Yes, ma'am. I have heard of it. No, ma'am. I haven't visited it.
You have not gone to Gandhi? What are the places you have visited in Hyderabad?
Ma'am, should I tell about the tourist places? Or?
Any places? What are the places you have visited in Hyderabad which are famous?
Okay. I have been to Gachibowli, which is famous for triple IT, Hyderabad, ma'am. And I've been. Yes, ma'am. Once. So when I've gone there to have
on
biryani.
which side of this Charminar, Bhagyalakshmi temple is located?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I haven't been to Bhagyalakshmi temple.
Okay. You studied in, you stay near Usman University Road.
Yes, ma'am.
Mir Usman Ali Khan. Can you speak about him for 1 minute? Mir Usman Ali Khan.
Ma'am, the name Usmania University came after him, ma'am. He was the seventh Nizam among the Nizams who ruled the Hyderabad state. That is all I know about him.
Operation Polo.
Yes, ma'am. Operation Polo was conducted in the year 1948 after when Hyderabad state was integrated into.
Who is the Nizam at that time? Mir Usman Ali Khan.
Oh.
Okay. After that, has he contributed to Indian government any time? Yes. During war. And he asked the boxes back. Let's see. Next. So you stay near Usman University Road.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you visited Arts College?
Yes, ma'am. Once.
How many years back it's constructed?
I am not sure, ma'am. But actually, the university was started.
In 2017, the centenary celebrations of Arts College were conducted.
Okay.
Centenary celebrations of Arts College. That means it was constructed in the year 1917. So 10th class, you have studied in Mother's Integral School.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by this Mother's Integral School?
Mother's, actually, her original name was Meera Alfassa, ma'am. She was a follower of Sri Aurobindo. She got to interact with Aurobindo at his ashram at Pondicherry, and she was influenced by his ideology of.
So, mother, oh, got it. What is her original name?
Meera Alfassa.
Okay. To which country she belonged to?
She belonged to France.
Have you ever visited Mother Ashram in Pondicherry?
No, ma'am.
You have not?
No.
No. Okay, but you studied in Mother Integral School in Hyderabad. Narayana Junior College.
Yes.
Recently, I am seeing in almost all the application forms of the candidates from Telugu states, either Narayana or Sri. What is this trend all about?
Ma'am, this was started when it was around initial years of 2000s, ma'am, when the Narayana colleges or the Sri Chaitanya group of colleges were started, and people started preferring these colleges for their wards to be admitted into because of the better quality of education that they might be getting.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you studied in BTech. You studied BTech and passed with distinction in chemical engineering, IIT Madras.
Yes, ma'am.
Why IIT students, some of them, are opting for civil services? They'll have better options and choices in life, but still why they do come for civil services?
Ma'am, my personal opinion for moving towards civil services is that I will be able to serve in multiple dimensions to the society, ma'am, rather than restricting myself to chemical engineering, which was my major, ma'am. Then there might be similar reasons.
What is so unique about IIT Madras? What is so special?
Yes, ma'am. It is majorly famous for the wildlife and the tree cover, ma'am. The unique specialty that I could analyze is that maximum 30% of the population stays. The tree cover is 70%, ma'am. Actually, there is only 30% was allowed for the construction of roads and hostels.
Who are your alumni?
Alumni. For my hostel, ma'am?
Yes, not in that. The previous alumni who helped you, or anyone who is very famous from Madras IIT. Do you know anyone?
Yes, ma'am. So even the current Dean Administration and the director is from IIT Madras, ma'am.
Any famous person from IIT
Madras? The current UPSC member, ma'am, Satyavati ma'am, is also an alumnus.
Any other famous person?
No, at the moment I am unable to recollect.
Think it over. Any famous scientist? Any other farmer? Anyone? You don't remember the name?
Yeah, as an alumnus, distinguished alumnus from IIT, overall is Nandan Nilekani, ma'am.
Okay. Done. So you have completed your BTech in 2017.
Yes, ma'am.
And after that, what you were doing in last 5 years?
Ma'am, I have been having a few health issues, ma'am, because of which I couldn't perform any effective work. And after I could get considerable amount of
What are those issues?
So I suffered cerebral hemorrhage in the year 2017, ma'am.
Okay. After completing your IIT?
No, ma'am. When I was in my final semester.
Why?
No, ma'am. Actually, even the doctors couldn't give any specific
It
reason.
is not a pressure from IIT.
No, ma'am. No, I was actually placed.
You are okay with that?
No,
you are
yes,
okay
ma'am.
with IIT. No problem. So you have your hobbies.
Yes, ma'am.
Second prize in cricket
Yes.
tournament at IIT Madras.
Yes.
Oh, do you play cricket?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good, Smaran. Best volunteer award for Teach Your Neighbor project at NSS IIT Madras. Have you really thought somebody?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
To which class?
2 students from 4th standard and 1 from 5th standard.
Studying IIT Madras, you were teaching 4th class students.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, our aim was to ensure that people or the students who were in the primary level will start focusing on the education.
Okay. So you are a member of Student Legislative Council IIT Madras.
Yes, ma'am.
So why do we need legislative councils in the country, in various states?
Yes, ma'am. The existence of legislative council depends on the requirement of the legislative assemblies. However, a few positives for having legislative councils is that more deliberations can be made before any act or policy is formulated by the government. So, in order to ensure that the decisions are not made in any haste or do not become a burden on the normal people.
So you do pranayama?
Yes, ma'am.
And you also play Sudoku? I'll tell you the statement, explain the statement for 1 minute, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
In 1 minute you need to explain. Tough times will never last, but tough people will do. What do you mean?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The statement essentially means to convey that though the situations or circumstances which we are placed in, it only depends on our ability to face that. And if we are mentally strong, we can easily overcome those situations.
Good. You do pranayama?
Yes,
ma'am. How many hours you do every day?
10 minutes, ma'am. 10 minutes in the
minutes?
morning and evening. Yes, ma'am.
Teach me pranayama. I want to complete it in 10 minutes every day. Teach me.
Yes, ma'am. Basically, there are 4 types of pranayama, ma'am, out of which I usually practice 3 types, ma'am. First type is Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. It involves our right palm, wherein one nostril is closed at a time, and the inhaling will happen through the other nostril, ma'am, like.
So what do you want to do after clearing civil service exam? What is your objective of writing this, and what is your aim after doing this?
My prime motive, few factors which have driven me towards this preparation is that, ma'am, the dynamic work environment and the steep learning curve which I can experience. And other factor is that I can contribute in a positive direction to the society at large. And also, ma'am, I got to know that I will be having job security benefits, so that I'll not be able to, I need not have any personal obligations and work efficiently.
Your interview is over, Smaran.
Thank you.